let's talk about Miller Moss. I mean, the conversation surrounding Miller Moss has kind of come up pretty recently as their bowl game, and his absolute unbelievable performance that he had in that game. He was absurd,
Yeah.
CD.
Yeah. 23 for 33, 372 yards, 6 touchdowns, an interception. He also played fantastic in mop-up duty against Stanford, Nevada, and San Jose State. Yeah, a guy in a quarterback room that was full of other talents, other 5 stars. Caleb Williams, who's obviously a stud, right? Heisman Trophy winner, first round pick, first overall pick, probably, right? And then obviously 5 star Malachi Nelson was the talk of the town as well to be the future of the quarterback position. It's Miller Moss. That's the last man standing there. And he's no slouch in his own right. 76 overall recruit back in 2021, 12th QB, right, in that class, sixth in California. He's an in-state guy, which you love for Lincoln Riley there. Redshirt Junior. I believe he was recruited there by the previous staff, right? Not a Lincoln Riley handpicked guy, but hey, he fended off everybody else. He even fended off Will Howard, right? That came over, was supposed to be a USC Trojan. And then all of a sudden the bowl game happens, and it was like, well, we can't skip out on Miller Moss now. And yeah, I love it. But he was already a good candidate, to be a breakout player. Did he already break out? Maybe. But also we wanted to talk about him because he was fantastic, and the national love surrounding USC is not there right now. A lot of it's on the defense, but people forget that Miller Moss is a damn good quarterback. Is he going to be Caleb Williams? No. Does he have to be? No. They're replacing, right? They're changing that defense. They're upgrading O line. They're bringing in Jaquavian Marks, right? They got Zachariah Branch. You've
Yeah.
got talent around you, less than Caleb had probably, but you also have other pieces as a full team and a unit that can lead to more wins.
Yeah, you lose Taj Washington, who was a really productive receiver. You lose Brendan Rice, who's Jared Rice's kid. He's very good. He'll be in the NFL somewhere. I the way Miller Moss played in that game just has me excited, right? And Lincoln Riley, like, we ever seen him fail a quarterback? Have we ever seen him
No.
fail a quarterback? No. We haven't ever seen him fail a quarterback. Lincoln Riley is a stud with quarterbacks. And if he likes Miller Moss, then that means that I do too, right? That means that I like Miller Moss as well. Mario Williams, I believe, transferred out of there. Dorian Singer transferred out of there. But I think it could be just that these young guys, I mean, Zach Branch, we know is a stud, but it could be that Deuce Robinson is just ready to go, you know?
It's also
That's what
like
that could mean.
they're kind of cleaning house there. I don't know if those guys at this point in their career, I don't want to say that they're more name than player, but because they're really talented, they had success at times in their collegiate career, but they all underperformed last year with Caleb Williams. And it was not really Caleb Williams' fault for the most part. Right? Other than Taj Washington, everybody else kind of really took a step back. And maybe that new blood in there, like you said, Z Branch. Obviously, they're bringing in Xavier Jordan, who's a top wide receiver from the state of California. Maybe as a true freshman can come in there from Sierra Canyon and really get after it. I love it. I love it from Miller Moss.
Yeah, a sneaky one. D3 wide receiver, Jaden Richardson. I haven't known Lincoln Riley necessarily go get some D3 receivers, but he goes and gets Jaden Richardson from Tufts, 6'3", 210 pounds. So he'll be like a senior, right? So he's not getting him to just get, I think he's getting him to, he's going to be playing, if I had to imagine. So we'll see. We'll see, man. I'm very excited for Miller Moss. Not that this is an upgrade from Caleb Williams by any means, but Miller Moss is kind of a guy, and I think we know that. So if you're asking me, do I think Miller Moss can be very, very, very successful this year? He can absolutely be insanely successful this year. I don't know what the Heisman odds for 2024 are. I'm actually pulling them up right here, um, seeing what the odds are according to FanDuel Sportsbook. But if I had to imagine, Miller Moss is probably pretty high up there. Yeah, look, he's right around 30 to 1, plus 3,000, right there with Brady Cook, Cade Klubnik, DJU, Avery Johnson, Jackson Arnold. He's right in that tier. I mean, like, he's in that breakout tier. So I look, Vegas is high on him, coaches are high on him. I think here on this show we're pretty high on Miller Moss. Now, will this translate to wins? I don't know. Dan Lin is looking to improve that defense for sure. The physicality, hopefully, as well. But there's still a lot to be seen, right?
For sure. Not you look at their win totals just released, right? Going over preseason win totals for the Big Ten. They're at 7.5, and they have a tough schedule. Yes, right. They get Penn State, Michigan, Wisconsin. They open with LSU, and they also have Notre Dame out of conference as well. Can't forget about Washington, and at UCLA, and maybe an improved Nebraska team as well. It's not an easy schedule in year one in the Big Ten, which is part of the reason why they're at 7.5. But part of it is, some of that uncertainty right around the quarterback position. You lose in Caleb Williams. What happens? What does the breakout season mean for this USC team?
Gosh, like if Miller Moss played at well, see, look, I was gonna say if Miller Moss played at Caleb Williams level, they could win 8, 9 games, but they just won 7 games with Caleb Williams like play. But if Miller Moss can break out and this defense can do something with this schedule, like I don't think they're competing for a Big Ten championship, but they are. I think they could look like a respectable opponent for sure.
Yeah, in game one, week one, right? You got to play LSU, and Miller Moss might have to put up 30, 40 points in that game for you to have a chance to win that football game, right? And if you're gonna know quickly, right? If Miller Moss is a guy, and all of a sudden he'll be thrust right into the national conversation, right where he probably belongs this offseason.